start with a Python and how to leverage python-nmap. So there's a library in Python called python-nmap. Python-nmap is a Python library which helps in using nmap to conduct a port scanning. It allows to easily manipulate nmap scan results and will be a perfect tool for system administrators or even red team operators who want to automate scanning tasks and report. It also supports nmap script output. So you can use Python to automate your nmap scan, and you can also write a script within the Python, and the script will will help you to automate your scanning process, because it's very, very, very important. So not just about you using it, you must be able to know how to automate your work. And our language of choice for this course is Python. So that's why I'm focusing on Python. So how do you set up python-nmap in Kali? So you need, first and foremost, you need to download it on your Kali. So go through this website to download the data file on your Kali, or you can also install the pip by typing this command: git clone git at bitbucket. You specify the path as is being demonstrated, as being shown on the screen. You can also do a manual installation. If you, first of all, for you to do a manual installation, you need to first of all download the tab file. So I haven't downloaded the tab file. For you to download the tab file at your command prompt or at your terminals, just type tab, specify this. As soon as that is that, you must have downloaded this from here, maybe to your download. They're ready to take it to download directly. So move the file to the designated directory. After moving the file, so you run this command. So when you are done running the command, you change directory to python-nmap -0.7.1. Having done that, you type the command python setup.py install. So to take a while for this installation to be concluded. As soon as that is done, you are good to go. You are ready to start or to start your scan. So let me just quickly run us through the different usage. For example, let me take us back to our Python module. So on my Kali, I've already downloaded this script. Sorry, I've already downloaded this on my Kali, and I've set it up already. So let me open a new terminal. Hope I've stopped the scan that I'm doing, but I've not slowed down my system. So let's go to Python. So first and foremost, you need to import the Python module. Sorry, you need to import the nmap module by typing import nmap to the environment. Having done that, if nmap has not been set up, you receive an error message. You need to quickly download that nmap on your Python. So if it has not been set up, you receive an error message, or you need to download it using this command earlier displayed. First of all, download the tab file, move the tab file to the designated directory, you switch to that directory and set it up. As soon as you set it up, you are ready to work with so let's for the class demonstration, as soon as you install that, just type this command, see how it looks like. As soon as you're done, let me close this page. Let me close my Wireshark. So run this command on your Python module to have a feel on how to navigate to do some to navigate through your nmap, Python nmap. Having run all of this, I'm going to give us some minutes, maybe like 20 minutes to run all of this command. So on this command, we are using loop back IP. So having done that, look at so having done that, just this is the Python terminal. Type this command to view all the host. So if you get the right output, this is how your output look like. So switch. So if you know the host, you now do nmap scan to display the host name. You put .hostname function. To display the state of your host, you put .state function. To display the protocol that are up, you put all protocols functions. So take your time, run through this. I will wait a bit for 30 minutes. When you're done, so you need to replace all the parameters from the loopback IP with domain of your choice. So you can do cybersecurity.com, and if you have a personal domain that you want to work with, not a sensitive domain that can trigger an alert, you can replace with such domain. You can try google.com, you can try salesforce.com, or if you have a personal domain. So just use any domain of your choice. I also give us another 30 minutes for us to do that before we proceed with the class. Please try that so that you get familiarized with the be more, so that you'll be able to be comfortable with Python, with the use of python-nmap module interactively. Okay. So if you do the right thing, your output should be similar to something like this. If you do the right thing, but let's just quickly check together. Let's check one or two stuff together. Let me set a variable called nmap to nmap dot port scanner function, right? Now that I've set the variable, so let me use, I want to scan for my domain, nmap scan, dot scan. Let me put the functions, let me put inside I've declared my function to be this. So let me put my domain name, censusbit.com. So let me scan between port 21 to, let's say, port 445. Let me close that. Because I'm scanning for a whole lot of ports, it will take a while before I get something reasonable. So while that command is running, I then, because of time, because we take the time, so that's why I did a screen grab of what is expected. So this is what you're supposed to see. This is what you're supposed to see. So from here, to tell you the status, it's telling me that the host is up. It also give you the details. It will tell you it is. Apart from that, you can use this function to do a banner grabbing instead of it to use your net cards. You can use an nmap, python-nmap to do a banner grab. You can see this is a whole lot of information about my target. Let me see whether my command has finished. Okay, still running. So you can see that it's telling me there is a cloud front, there is the presence of a firewall. It's telling me about so because this command is equivalent to this command in the nmap. So it's telling me the number of services. It's telling me there is Amazon CloudFront HTTPD. It's telling me the protocol that are there. Generally, what you can do with the normal banner grab command, and it's also telling me the port that are open. You can see port 80 is open, port 443 is open, and each of those ports is telling me the details of the of the server. So okay, that my stuff is up. Let me maximize this so that we're able to see it better. So you can see I did a scan between this equivalent to you running this map, this command on your nmap. If you run this command on your nmap, this is equivalent of what you get. So what we are doing, you are running an nmap inside Python shell. So you can see this is the IP address. So this I can have I can from here I definitely know that this guy is running on I used Amazon AWS services, and there's a lot of information. So tell me the port that are open. Port 21 is open. Port 80 is open. Port 443 is open. So you can do a whole lot. It also tell me the presence of FTP. Tell me the. So there's a lot of information. So what I just did, I did a simple banner grabbing on a Python interactive shell. So let's proceed. So let us talk about a few of the methods used above. The method all underscore protocols return the protocol for the current network being scanned. The method keys return all the active ports available within the specified range. If you practice the, I believe by now we will have your output on our screen, and that classwork, if you practice it. So when we use the key method on our local computer, only the port 80 was returned because no other port in the specified range is active. That's why I also asked us to do it on any domain of our choice. But if you have any domain of your choice, run it on celsiusbit.com. So if you do the writing, so I have told you, state will tell you the state of the server, all underscore protocol will tell you the protocol that are open. If you have more than TCP protocol, if you have that protocol, the keys will tell you we give you these details, and it also tell you so more details. If I want to know more about the key, because this key tell me is about, okay, there's a TCP port, there's a, if I want to know about the TCP port 80, I will do this to tell me the detail about the port 80. So this is how to use Python interactive shell to do a banner grabbing. It will be done interactively. So banner grabbing, it tells me that the Apache HTTPD is running. It tells me the version of the Apache. It also tells me the what other data do I need to know. So these are more than enough information that will help me to conduct a further attack on my machine or my target. Note in last command, an error is raised. This is because the command nm scan 127.0.0.1 doesn't have port 22. So if the port doesn't exist, you receive an error message. So for port that doesn't exist, for port that exists, it will tell you the details of the port and the services that are available on that port. So that's how to use nmap. Sorry, inside the Python, how to use python-nmap interactively. So apart from using interactively, you can as well as run a simple script. You can save the script, but if you want to run a simple script, you also need to make sure that so there's a script that I display on my screen. I give you another 20 minutes to type the script, study the script. You can manipulate it. So this is a simple port scanner. So first and foremost, you need to import your nmap. After importing your nmap into your, so for you to initialize the port scanner, you initiate a variable, you call the function nmap.portscanner. So having initiated a variable called nmscan, you can use any name anyway. So for you to scan your local host, you specify the ranges of ports. It's equivalent to what we do interactively. We want just run a simple script to do that. So this will give you the listing of all the ports that are available. So if you want to run a loop to print all the found results about the ports, you can use this. Mind you, this is the variable that has been declared. You can use all those functions, and so you can start your four statements. So you print all the hosts. So this will display the host and the host name if there are more than one host name. So this will display the states. So this function will display all the protocols. And this function will display the keys. Mind you, this is a variable name that I've created there. So follow the scripts, study it for another 10 minutes, and do something much more interesting. You can write your scripts leveraging on the various python-nmap functions. So if you run the scripts, because we are running it on the local host, the output will be similar to this. And the protocol is this. So to display all the ports, you don't necessarily have all of these ports. So depending on the number of ports that have one. All the ports. So this is how the output of the script look like. So let me do something. I think I created a script. The script called a banner. Simple banner grabbing scripts. So this is a simple banner grabbing script. I import the sockets. I import the 6 voodoo. I import the OS command. So I start a variable here. This is the functions. The work of this function is to do a listing of all the available IP address and also display the banner. This is a function to grab the banner. So I use an argument I call here. So this is where I define the port list, and I was using it on my host. So you can see this is a for loop statement. Now the for x between 0 to 255. So this is an incremental value which start with 192.160.0.0. It is up to get to 115. So to do a banner graph for all these IP address with the port. So the command might take a while. It will take like almost 30 minutes, but because of our class, we need to be fast. I've started the command before. So when I run this command, so this is the output. So the name of the script is, I told you last lesson, I also instructed you on how to install, you can install your Python on your host. So the reason why I'm using different host or operating system, because as a red team operator, you must be very comfortable with different ranges of operating system, because depending on the environment you find yourself, you must be comfortable using Linux, that is given, comfortable using Windows, and you must be comfortable with any form of operating system that your environment, maybe your client is using. So you can as well as try this run this simple simple scripts on your Python or your Linux. You can try various variants of Linux. So you can see these are the hosts that are available. So these are the hosts that are available. It will do a listing of all the hosts, and on this host are port 421, port 421 opened. So to take a while, the script is still running. So it might take like almost 40 minutes or an hour before you'll be able to get it, because just you imagine using an nmap to take a whole lot of while before you get the result. So you can type in the result into a text file, because if you are doing a arithmetic exercise, you need to document. Documentation is very key, all your findings as much as possible. So try that script. Let me display the script again. You can do modification on it. And also, I've also crafted this script on our lab, on the practice lab. I put the script there, but purposely, I did some typo, and I do some, you need to go through the script and debug it and make sure it works. So, and if you properly debug, this one has already been debugged, but the one I put in your lab file has not been debugged. I purposely do that so that you'll be comfortable writing the Python scripting, and also be comfortable editing any available scripts that you lay your hand on. But first and foremost, you must be before you can edit any script, you must be able to understand the concept of the language very well. So it's very, very important for you to be able to do a detailed arithmetic exercise on your targets. So now let's talk about the difference. I want to talk about the different command that makes your user friendly, that makes your command line to be very friendly. So instead of you running through some series of iteration and all of that, so we demonstrate how to take input from command line while running the script, rather than have coded the values in the script. We look at two different ways to take input from command line. So we have you can use argpass and you can use uppass. I think uppass is getting obsolete, and I would love to use argpass. So let me explain the difference between the two. The argpass modules make it easy to write user-friendly command line interface. The program defines what argument it requires, and argpass will figure out how to pass those outputs of 6.argv. So instead of you using it, you can use this argpass. But for the uppass module separates command line argument into options and arguments to two groups. It calls parser.add underscore options methods to add options, and does not need to add args to the parser beforehand. The argpass module has positional argument and optional arguments. So let's look at this. Let's look at some of these sample scripts. So that leverage on this is a normal, just like the one we just did. So if you look at this, instead of using the argv, we are using the argpass to pass these arguments. So study this script and run it. If you run it, your output will be similar to what these earlier scripts, the earlier script that we run. So this is a simple scanner with Python. So for you to use the ArcPath, don't forget to import the ArcPath module, import the nmap module. And having done that, you can start writing your functions. This is the variable name. So study the scripts and try as much as possible to use various hosts to get familiarized and also get your hands on how to write a simple scanner with your Python. Because the essence of this course is not just about how to use tooling, various scanner tooling. You can also create your own tooling. You can also create your own customized tooling, leverage it on Python. I can say that this stuff is not is pretty straightforward and also makes our work. You can use it to automate your work if you want to do some repetitive tasks, or you have a couple of red team operators and you are working on common goals. You can have a couple of reusable scripts that can be shared among the teams, and also to automate your penetration testing or red teaming exercise. So nmap post scanning script with input from command line. I think I've explained that. So in the previous slide script, nmap scan is a simple method which take into argument the host name, the address, and the port number. Instead that you put the host name and the port number which you want to scan. The main function, we are using the ArcPath to pass the argument provided while the script is run. The add argument function passes the argument and save their value. While running this program, you can only specify one port at once. Just like this, you need to specify one port at once. So you can save it as nmap, scan nmap.py. The output should look like this if it's well written. So if you are using the ArcPath method, you need to import the module, just like we import the ArcPath module. If you look at the two scripts, they are similar, and the output too are similar. Passing argument is using ArcPath. You will see that ArcPath and ArcPath also differ in terms of the style of passing the argument. What just makes the difference the way they pass the argument, why the script is wrong. Other than that, we can use ArcPath for taking the comma separated list or port as an input and then running a for loop to scan each port. But our motive here was to provide you with two different ways to do the same thing. So both of them are actually do the same thing. So depend on what's for me. Because the ArcPath is getting us so that I prefer to use ArcPath. As a result, now you know how to use ArcPath and ArcPath. Using this, you can even write simple Python script for various operations to run the above scripts. I think for the class work, there are a lot of class exercises here. Study those two scripts and also come up with your own, based on your own objective, and try that for another 20 minutes.